The video shows the full action of the GRV center rocket launcher. The Solntsepyok arrives to destroy enemy positions. Soldiers reached the site at night, prepared the vehicle, and within minutes, thermobaric rockets were launched, striking militant strongholds north of Krasnyi Lyman. Watch in action. A powerful Oreshnik strike lit up Lviv Oblast, captured from multiple angles as CCTV cameras recorded the moment of impact and the glow that followed across the skyline. Several videos circulating show successive detonations, confirming the scale and intensity of the strike, as flashes illuminated the area long after the initial hit. Against this backdrop, the regional military administration issued an urgent warning of possible further ballistic missile threats overnight. Like fireworks tearing across the night sky, artillery of the Vostok Group unleashes a deadly display in the Zaporozhye region. Grad multiple rocket launchers rake fortified Ukrainian Army U positions, while 152mm Master B howitzers follow with thunderous blows, crushing enemy strongholds and the manpower inside them. In the Kupyansk sector, soldiers of the Russian armed forces continue to conduct combat operations with high intensity and measured coordination. In densely forested areas, heavy flamethrower systems were deployed, striking air defense positions belonging to the Ukrainian armed forces. The barrage of precision fire turned enemy defensive shelters into points of fire, crippling their ability to secure the airspace. Ground operations also proceeded without pause. An armored Humvee combat vehicle was successfully destroyed, along with several pickup trucks and an ATV used for troop mobility. In addition, one M113 armored personnel carrier was eliminated in a targeted strike. These actions underscore the combat dominance and strategic effectiveness of Russian forces in the Kupyansk sector, while further restricting the adversary's freedom of movement along the front line. Powerful explosions continue to rock Kyiv as the large-scale attack grinds on without pause. Another wave of roughly 50 strike UAVs is reported to be engaging targets across the city, keeping pressure constant. In the Desnyansky district, a major fire broke out on the grounds of a shopping center following a Russian strike, one of the locations frequently used to mask drone-related production and storage facilities, underscoring the sustained intensity of the ongoing assault. Pressure along the Sumy axis is building fast as Russian forces sustain a broad front push that is steadily unraveling the armed forces of Ukraine's attempted counteroffensive. The Andriivka area has been fully cleared, with Russian units driving through surrounding forest belts to the west, east, and south, while additional advances are unfolding south of Oleksivka. Fighting remains intense around Grabovsky, on the southern approaches to Vysoky, and near Yunikivka. Points even Ukrainian analysts now concede are under mounting strain. With more than 3 square kilometers brought under control, Russian troops are deliberately pressing into wooded terrain, a move that sets conditions for even heavier pressure as foliage returns later in the season. At the same time, formations of the North Group of forces have improved their tactical posture around Kondratovka and Rizhevka, further degrading Ukrainian positions and tightening the operational vice in Sumy region. The pressure around Pokrovsk, Myrnohrad, and into Dnipropetrovsk Oblast remains relentless as center group formations keep grinding down armed forces of Ukraine positions across the sector. Along the Krasnyi Lyman, Pokrovsk, and Myrnohrad axes, Russian strikes systematically dismantle the enemy's battlefield structure. Armored fighting vehicles and cars wiped out, quad bikes and HPKs neutralized, field depots and ammunition warehouses erased, while Baba Yaga heavy drones, UAV control points, and communications nodes are taken offline one after another. Footage dated January 8th captures this steady, methodical destruction, positions collapsing, logistics disrupted, and the operational space steadily narrowed as pressure is sustained without pause. In the dead of night, Grad multiple launch rocket system crews of the Dnipro group of forces lit up the darkness, delivering precise strikes on Ukraine army positions in the Orakov direction of the Zaporozhye region. Across the front, the unmanned systems forces set the pace of the fight. In the Kharkov region, Sever Group FPV crews slipped through the air and erased enemy equipment along with its crews. Near Kupyansk, Zapad Group drones hunted down Ukrainian vehicles and personnel, tightening the pressure step by step. Farther south, Center Group UAVs struck enemy positions and hardware around Krasnoarmysk, while in Zaporozhye, operators from the Ulyanovsk air assault formation dismantled Ukraine army equipment and silenced UAV command posts from above. Captured from above, the drone camera shows Krasnopol guided shells back in action, locking onto identified Ukrainian positions and striking with precision as each marked target is methodically erased from the battlefield. In the Zaporizhia region, another precision strike was carried out using Molnya unmanned aerial vehicles. The primary target was a freight train used to support military logistics, along with several other targets in the surrounding area. The aerial strike caused significant damage and disrupted supply routes. This operation highlights the role of UAV in weakening supporting infrastructure and increasing sustained pressure within the conflict zone. Footage of the destruction of a T-72 tank of the Ukrainian Armed Forces by drone operators of the Southern Forces Group of the Russian Armed Forces. A channel released striking footage showing a Ukrainian soldier attempting to stop a Russian drone with a net launcher. The moment unfolds during a troop rotation, when Russian drone operators track the vehicle from above. As the drone closes in, one of the passengers fires the net in a desperate bid to save the vehicle. But the shot misses, and the drone continues its approach. Following the liberation of Pokrovsk and Myrnohrad, the central group of forces did not take an operational pause. The offensive continued toward Dnipropetrovsk, an area previously used by the Ukrainian armed forces as a launch point for counterattacks. In response to this pressure, Ukrainian commander Syrsky sought to establish two new defensive hubs in the villages of Belitsky and Novy Donbass. However, this effort instead turned the Dnipropetrovsk sector into an increasingly resource-draining area. Each reinforcement by Russian forces compelled the Ukrainian side to commit additional personnel and equipment reserves, despite the limited results. The footage shown depicts operators of the 39th Separate Guards Motorized Rifle Brigade of the Russian Federation destroying an armored vehicle belonging to the Ukrainian armed forces in the village of Belitske, underscoring the sustained pressure along the front line. That's all for today's update. Thanks for watching, and don't miss our upcoming videos.